Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. I've got a piece of advice for you. Don't teach your dog how to sit while using a Sean Connery accent. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at my top 50 GMT games of all time. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at numbers 50 through 41. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I played so many GMT games over the years. I thought I'd finally rank my top 50. Now, I think I figured it out somewhere in the mid to high 70s of GMT games. I think that's where I'm at. And I'm going to go ahead and discuss my top 50 of all time here. There's a lot that I liked that didn't make the list. There's a few that I didn't really care for. But generally, what you're going to see on here are games I really, really enjoy. And we're going to start with 50. We're going to do 5 videos, take it all the way down to number 1. So let's get started here with my number 50. My number 50 is Paths of Glory. Paths of Glory is a great CDG World War I game. Now, this is a game I only played a few times, but it has the distinction of being the very first game I played with my good friend Ray. I actually asked him if he wanted to come over and play it. He'd contacted me because he saw my videos on YouTube. And he says, "You're in Boise." I said, "Yeah, come on over." And so we played this game, and for some reason, I thought he was a war gamer. Turns out he was not much of a war gamer. He has become something of a war gamer since. But we sat down, we learned that game, which is not an easy game to jump into, but it's a great CDG, a card-driven game where you are playing cards for their events or for kind of action points to move your armies around the board. It's a heavier game, and that's probably why it's not higher up on this list. I really enjoy it, but there's a lot there to take in and a lot to learn. I actually no longer have this game. I did donate it just because I didn't see myself coming back to it, but I did have a lot of fun with it. I think it's a great game. So that is my number 50, Paths of Glory. My number 49 is a game that is set on the Eastern Front with that villain Stalin. And of course, Hitler's there too, and he's a bad guy as well. But this is Absolute War. Absolute War is a great game of the German Wehrmacht and the Red Army on the Eastern Front. And again, it's something of a CDG, and you're playing cards that are helping you maneuver your armies around these various locations and engage in combat. It's got a great combat system. You got kind of little bursts on the cards that are kind of helping you to inform combat. But it's a great game. Of course, you have the Russians who are not as strong. The Germans are just being kind of blitz through them, and the Soviets are kind of trading space for time. It's one of these great Russian front games that kind of deals with that. Now, full disclosure here, I've never played this game with another player. This is a game I played played both sides of it, and great fun, great card play. Another one, unfortunately, is no longer in my collection, but really enjoyed it. So that is number 49, Absolute War. My number 48 is another World War II game. This is a great hex and counter game about the Allied invasion of Italy in September of 1943. This is Salerno 43. The Salerno landings of the Fifth Army under Mark Clark, of course, were a big moment on the path to victory in the war. Although the invasion of Italy remains controversial for a number of reasons. But nevertheless, it's a very fascinating battle. And GMT did a great job here in kind of showing, it's a hex and counter game, but the Fifth Army's waves, they're landing along the Selle River, the British and the American 6th Corps, and I think it was the British 10th Corps north of the river, and you're landing them there. The Germans are trying to rush reinforcements to kind of contain the beachhead. It was really fun, and I enjoyed it quite a bit too, because I actually wrote a chapter in my dissertation on Mark Clark at the Battle of Salerno, and really, really a fun and interesting game that kind of highlights a lot of the important decisions on both sides at the Battle of Salerno. Now, again, a game I no longer have in my collection. I can't keep them all, friends, but I really did enjoy it. A good, solid World War II hex and counter war game. That is Salerno 43, my number 48. My number 47 is Red Flag Over Paris. Red Flag Over Paris is kind of one of these lunchtime games that takes place during the Paris Commune of 1871. essentially you're trying to it's area control. You're trying to control the different dimensions on the game board and trying to score points. It's almost like a really super quick playing Twilight struggle here. But I think if I remember correctly, you're trying to get the press on your side, but then you're trying to also get, I think the army was a dimension, and anyway, you're trying to control these different dimensions, and you're doing it again with this kind of almost CDG card playing that's going on there. Really a lot of fun. Great history there. Now, this is one, again, no longer in my collection, but I really enjoyed Red Flag Over Paris. That is my number 47. My number 46 is a game that I enjoyed when I played it quite a bit, and I played it subsequently, and I still got a kick out of it. But again, sadly, it's one that's no longer in my collection because I felt like there were other games by this designer that, to me, were superior games. I know it's a controversial statement because a lot of people will say this is probably the best that he's come up with, but this is Imperial Struggle, a Jason Matthews game. Imperial Struggle is great. It's the wars between Britain and France, in the 18th century and roundabouts, and it's you've got the different great wars get tied up into it, like the American Revolution, the French and Indian War, and it does a good job of kind of showing the different parts of the world and what they're contributing in trade, because you're competing over resources and what have you. Very fun game with a very big scope that I really appreciated. And again, a game like this, I always love the history and the nuggets of trivia that you're learning as you're playing a game like this. Really a good game. This is number 46, Imperial Struggle. My number 45 is a game I played, I think last year for the first time. I'd had it for a while, and I finally got it to the table. Really enjoyed it. This is Conquest and Consequence. Conquest and Consequence is a block war game that, ideally you've got three players. You've got one player playing the Japanese, one player playing the Americans of the West, and one player playing the Soviets. And you are, throughout the game, kind of fighting these battles in the Pacific and in Asia. What's cool, though, is it doesn't start with the war. It actually starts prior to the war. In the first part of the game, you're actually playing cards for their diplomatic abilities, and you're trying to take over different countries diplomatically. And you're trying to align them with you diplomatically. And it's fun because you got the card play to do that. And that's actually one of my favorite parts of the game, is the beginning of the game when you're trying to get stuff done with diplomacy. But then ultimately, of course, the war starts, and it's a really good kind of three-way block war game. It's not like the Americans and the Russians are really working together. They are both attacking the Japanese, but they're not necessarily, they're in it for an individual victory. You got technology here, which is really fun, that can really kind of change the dynamics of some of the battles. So it's a great game. But this is number 45, Conquest and Consequence. My number 44 is a kind of a riff on an earlier game. It's kind of a shorter version of it and a very specific geographic area. But this is Twilight Struggle Red Sea, Horn of Africa. And this game is, again, another kind of area control, CDG, where you're trying to dominate this part of the world. And again, you're using card play to do it. You're trying to score the most points by controlling certain areas. The Americans versus the Soviets here in this part of Africa. Really a super fun game, a tight game, a quick game. Really enjoyed it quite a bit. I have parted with this one because I like Twilight Struggle, the full game, a lot better, and I'd rather play that. I get this one's, if you want a shorter experience. I kind of find there's probably other games I'd rather play for a shorter experience, some of which are on this list. But all told, it is a fun game. I really did enjoy Twilight Struggle Red Sea. So that is my number 44, Twilight Struggle Red Sea. My number 43, another World War II hex encounter war game. This is the Russian campaign. I believe it's the 5th edition that I played. This is a great, again, Eastern Front hex encounter war game. This is a game where you've got the Wehrmacht versus the Red Army. And again, it's that same idea of the Red Army isn't as strong. They don't have as many units out there. And initially, the Red Army, or the Wehrmacht, just kind of pushes right into them, pushes them back fairly easily. And so again, the Russians kind of have to play that game of trading space for time. But this is a great hex encounter war game where you are, adding up, you're attacking units, you're looking at the combat factors, you're rolling on a combat table. It's really, really fun. It was kind of a bear to organize when you're playing the game. You're trying to get all the units organized and stuff like that. But it's a really fun game to play. Now, again, full disclosure, I haven't played this game with another player. This is another one I've only ever played just playing both sides. But I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a really offers some really fun strategic challenges to both sides here. So that is number 43, the Russian Campaign, 5th edition. But number 42, another great kind of card-driven area control game that's also a pretty quick game. But this is Flashpoint South China Sea. So this is kind of a more contemporary game where you've got the United States and you've got China, and they're both kind of vying for influence and control in kind of, Southeast Asia and the Pacific. You're trying to get influence with Malaysia and the Philippines and what have you. And again, it's really fun, kind of card-driven game. And I played this both with 2-player and the solo player. And I all things being equal, I preferred the 2-player game, but the solo game worked pretty well as well. I like the theme of this game and the tension of kind of the real-world international relations and tensions that are going on in that part of the world. And I thought they did a good job of kind of abstracting that into a fun, playable, and relatively quick game. I really did enjoy how fast this was. But this was Flashpoint South China Sea. That is my number 42. Again, GMT Games. Okay, my number 41. This is a game I know a lot of people love. And I like this game a lot, but I don't think I like it quite as much as a lot of people do. But this is Sekigahara, which takes place in Japan, feudal Japan. And this is a game, it's kind of a block game. You got different blocks, and you've got some card play, you got some bluffing here. It's a tough game. It's a game of really tough decisions as you're trying to maneuver your armies around these blocks around feudal Japan in order to, defeat your enemy. It was a game that, I'd had a lot of people talk to me about that really talked it up. And so when I played it, I enjoyed it, but I think it had been talked up to me so much, I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I thought I would. But I remember playing this down in Texas with my friend Alex, and really, really had a lot of fun with it. In its own right, it's a great game. Again, this is one I don't own. Again, I can't keep them all. But a great, like I say, block war game with bluffing that I really, really got a kick out of. So that is my number 1, Sekigahara. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? My top 50 GMT games, that's my number 50 through 41. What do you think? What are some of your favorite GMT games? Did you like the ones I had on this list? Do you think they should have been higher or not on the list at all? Let me know. Please leave a comment. I love to hear what your feelings are about my picks for this list. As always, I ask you to please leave a comment here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, on X. We love to hear back from you. Please, please, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. That means a lot to us. And if you really like what you see here on this channel, please check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures up there. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to that channel as well. And if you really do like what you see on this channel, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. Why don't scientists trust atoms? They make up everything.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I've been dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. God knows that I love to fight, but I don't ever win. It's a fine line to damnation, but God let me in.
And I'm going to go ahead and put 2 in.
Nope.